episode, we are going to focus on the practical ways to live a life of service. But before we go into it, don't forget to subscribe, comment, like, and share. Put out your thoughts in the comment section and let's see what your story is about. It may be transforming someone's life. And don't forget, you are on Great App, where great meets grace with Jason. So as we delve into the next episode, please, I want us to just focus on ways to live a life of service. Number one is what? Ways to get involved is what? Volunteer opportunities. Volunteer to be part of what? An organization. Or build your own ways of what? Doing something by helping. I like to see these videos around where people cook good meals, pack them, and then they go out to the less privileged and then they give out. I don't know, but have you ever stayed the whole day not eating? Or even when you try to fast, usually there are days when you wake up and you don't want to eat, you don't feel like eating. You can go throughout the day because you are busy and you don't feel like you're starving. But someone who actually don't have food and don't know where to get the food from, or don't have the means of getting the food, that's why I asked if you fasted before, because when you are fasting, because the devil knows that you are trying to do something to change your life, the fasting becomes very painful, become very immense painful. Like usually in your normal days you can go without eating, but that particular moment you choose not to eat for something that you want to change about your life by going to God or seeking God. It becomes difficult. So imagine somebody who hasn't eaten all day and they don't have the means to come up with food or a meal. So sometimes when people come out to volunteer or find a way to serve others by cooking a meal and going about and distributing, you may not know whose life you are saving that. So it is important that we get involved in what? Volunteer opportunities, like joining organizations where you can volunteer your time or skill, whether it's like a shelter or community center. There are countless ways to serve. You know, there is a quote that I like that Mother Teresa said. He said that not all of us can do great things, but we can do small things with great love. So for someone to go out of their way and cook a good meal with time, pack it nicely, put spoon in water or a drink, and go out, share, and you think you'll be in vain. That is why this woman said, not all of us can do great things, but we cannot do small things with great love. So maybe that small thing you do. Remember in the previous episode when we were talking about the talent, the parable of the talent, some were given 5, some were given 2, some were given 1. So probably yours is just 1. And your one talent is to be able to what? Use your skill to do in the small way you can. And that is why Mother Teresa said that, but we can do small things with great love. But as for those who can do greater things and great things, in Africa, I pray there will come a time where people will actually, and I know there are foundations and organizations like that, but I pray we'll come to a point where we would build shelters, that it would save people from sleeping on the streets. We will build shelter that would have like a small church or small mosque, whatever it is, around it, because this world is full of religion. So whatever religion or whatever teachings you are following, we are all one. It doesn't matter. When you play the role of service, it's not a matter of religion. So it is important that as you play small roles in your own small way, those who can do great things can also come up with ways like what? Building shelters that people can run to when they are in need. You know, they can go sleep there and in the morning they serve them breakfast, and then they have teachers or preachers who teach them and inspire them and motivate them that, hey, you may be at your last point where there seems to be no hope, but remember that there is hope. You see, we need things like that, not only food, but even messages out there, pushing a speech, a thought, or a preaching to motivate someone can transform one's, can be of a help of service to someone. So volunteering to help is also part of what? A way to get involved. And then the next thing is what? To act of kindness. The act of kindness. Incorporate small acts of kindness into your daily routine. This could be a simple a simple way of helping a neighbor, writing a note of encouragement, or sending a friend, or sending a text message of encouragement, or sometimes just calling a friend to check up on them. I had a discussion with a guy I'll bring on the show as time goes on. His name is T, and he said that there was a day a friend of his had actually bought poison to kill himself. So he has this spirit of call on him, but he's not even taking it serious. You see why we were teaching about walking in your purpose or following your call to service. He was there, and then he had an intuition that he had to call his friend that day. So as he called his friend was like, T, why? Why did you call? And do you know, when he called him, he said, bro, Charlie, do you know that this and that and that and that there are good things coming? I just dreamt about you, and I saw you in this awesome state in your life where everything was moving up for you. And the guy was saying these things to the guy, and the guy was like, man, you just saved my life. He said, why? How did I save your life? He said, you calling me. Do you know what I was about to do to myself? Took a picture of the poison and the letter, the note he had left after when he was planning to take the medicine to kill himself. So playing the role of service, it doesn't matter how small or great, but any role you play, so far as is leading toward a service to help someone, to save someone, you are helping someone. So don't hesitate, and don't let the act of kindness, or don't let you not being able to do the bigger act of kindness block you from doing the smaller things. See, the greatest things in life are the smaller things we take them for granted. The greatest things in life are the smaller things you take for granted. A smile with your son or your wife or your partner or family member. A watch of the sunset and the moon come and go. Or an experience or a moment. These things cannot be bought. But they come very expensive. So, playing the act of kindness shouldn't be in a big way as you think, but a checkup on a friend, a message, or a visit. Sometimes you are there, and then the spirit will tell you that, Charlie, just go and buy some few groceries, get some few groceries, maybe some rice or something, and just go and give it to your friend or your neighbor, or go and do some giving. Sometimes it's hard because when you check your account balance and you check yourself, you have your own issues. But it will take the work of faith for you to always what? Give or do or sacrifice. When we talk of faith, I say faith is an assurance of what? Things hoped for, but proof of things not seen. You don't see the whole thing. It's just like you driving with your eyes closed. If you want to understand faith with God, those of you know how to drive. If you dare driving with your eyes closed, you will come to your funeral. Or closing your eyes to jump off a cliff. That is how you trust in God. Don't think too much. Just trust Him. Imagine yourself standing on a cliff. This is your last penny you are going to give out because the Spirit says give. My Godfather says, always obey the Spirit. So there is a song that says what? Trust and obey. Trust and obey. For there is no other way to be happy in Jesus but what? Trust and obey. So they sing in hymns in churches, in schools. It used to be one of the songs they taught us in school, in primary school and senior level. We sing this song, but I tell you that it is what it takes. It is what it takes. That is why I say the simplest things we take for granted are the things that we need. Because everything you're looking out of life, I keep telling people, is right under your nose. See, the song sings and says what? Trust and obey. Trust and obey. For there is no other way to be happy in Jesus. But if what? Trust and obey. The other day, my little daughter was singing a song. And that morning, I was a bit down. I was worried, disturbed about a situation I had to tackle. certain setbacks that I face. Do you know the song my little girl was singing? Prayer is the key. Prayer is the key. Prayer is the master key. Jesus started with prayer and ended with prayer. Prayer is the master key. Then I remember that Jesus said he will speak through all means, through the trees, through the birds, through any form. Then I realized that it was God speaking through my daughter to me, calming me down to remind me that prayer is the key. And that's the place that I found myself. Because I was losing my hope and my faith. Because there are certain obstacles or challenges that come at you, if you don't take time, you will lose yourself. And you will lose your trust in God and your faith in God. So having faith in God is important because it helps you to act kind to others despite your problem, despite your situation. Because I always tell people that, listen, you can never be ready to do anything. Even giving, you can never say to yourself that you're waiting to have enough before you give. You must give, or you must play your role of service with every little help you can now. That is why the parable of talent, it means a lot, because it means that my godfather said, when we say talent means skill or weight, the weight you can carry. So if it is penny you can give, now give. So if it is millions you can give. If it is just to call a friend and check out, if it is shop a few groceries, it is to give a few donations, if it is go to hospital, if it is find some 5 students and pay their school fees. And as you do these things, speak on them. Tell God, as I do this, may my generation never lack. I heard a message somewhere where a friend called him to need. He was in school in London where he needed school fees and they had a deadline to pay the school tuition. So this friend said he also had his savings. That was his last savings. I think he quoted an amount and I don't remember, but it was like around £2,000. So he said he went out there and cashed out the money. But while he cashed out the money, pray and let the Spirit guide him that, Spirit of God, as I do this, may my generation be surprised as I surprise this nigga out of my sacrifice. Because it cost him. It played a service role in his friend's life. And today, him and his generation are enjoying of that benefit. So if you remember the previous episode, I said that tree being planted by someone is also a call of service. And this is some of the tree that we, this generation, must plant for the next generation. It is important that you put yourself to service. Say, look down your family line, look into your family and say to yourself that, as for me and my generation, it will not end up like this. There shouldn't be a time that money will be a barrier, location will be a barrier, that something must be a barrier that will not allow you to achieve your purpose. Like I told you in the studies of walking in purpose, I said that myself and my friend wanted to be pilots. So what if I had a rich uncle or something? So you must be able to get to the place of service where you can be serviceable to others. Because if you become good at your level of purpose and become serviceable, maybe you could be helping people out there. You could create an organization that can support people that have talent, that have gifts, because we have many people that have gifts and you see them around all the time. That is why when you travel to other countries, there are forms of lottery promotion where they pick individuals with talent and gifts and then they promote them and then they promote their gifts and skill. When you look at America Got Talent, look at what they are doing. They are making availability for people to fulfill their dreams. It's a call to service. Service comes in many forms, and it's important for you to understand that every way or form you can also do what? Be serviceable to others. So as I go to the next episode, the next thing to do is what? To use your talent. Consider how you can use your unique skills to what? Service others. If you are good at cooking, consider hosting a meal for those in need. I said that earlier. If you are a skilled craftsman, offer help with repairs for someone who can't. There are so many things we can do that can be beneficial to others. Yours can be beneficial to me and mine can be beneficial to yours. When I was recently, I tried to school to study a language that I admire so much. That is French. And all the French people there, bonjour, bonsoir, comment ça va, how are you all? So, c'est ça, c'est bon. So, using your talent can be a unique skill that can serve others. We were given a task in school to do, and there was one lady that was part of the project work that was given, and she had learned leadership and communication. So, the purpose of that project was for us to work together by helping each other. So, as we did that project together, initially, because there was no leadership and togetherness, we were struggling to bring the project together. They had given us various words in cards form that we need to put together, arrange them accordingly. But we were only able to achieve that project successfully when that girl or that lady decided to say, okay guys, let's come together. Let's do it this way. And for some reason, everybody started listening to her. And as we listened to her, we began to put the thing in order. And this one will bring the idea that, oh, okay, let's put it to this way. This one brings another idea, let's put it this way. We did not discriminate or disobey anybody's idea or discard anybody's idea. Rather, we brought it all together, and in the end, by doing so, we ended up fulfilling or becoming successful at our project. And the lecturer made us understand that that is the first time that people had actually come together and be able to fulfill that project. It means that when we put our service together by fulfilling what or using our talent, we could be of service to each other and we could build greater things together. Remember that together we can do great things. So it is important that we use our talent. So as we transition to the next episode, please get involved in programs, activity, organizations that can help you play a service or be of service to someone. By doing so, you will enjoy the benefits of what? Using your talent. So as we close on this episode, we are going to focus on lasting impact of service in our lives and the lives of others. But as we go to that next episode, please remember that by actively engaging in service, we step into our purpose and reflect on God's love in the world. And don't forget that you are on Greater, where great meets grace with Jason. Subscribe, comment, like, and share. Put out your thoughts and let's transform each other's life. Remember, the purpose of this show is to inspire and empower each other to walk in purpose and walk in the call of service. Until next time, stay blessed and enjoy your day. Au revoir. Bye-bye.